The fear is real, and danger lurks all around. The paranormal is unknown, but should it be messed with? Things are getting really crazy with this poltergeist. Published by Memoria Sobrenatural Incorporated in December of 2021, the spirits first make their presence known in this haunted place through an EMF meter. The crew tries to communicate with the spirits, and the window shutter slowly opens, perhaps to distract the fire being set behind them. They notice a dark figure crossing a doorway as they leave the building in the firelight. When they return inside later, they hear a clinking, and then a thunderous bang.
Cara, que sentimento horrível, pessoal. Cara do céu!
The flame which was lit earlier goes out suddenly. Then, as they attempt to detect a presence using the EMF meter, the spirits send them up in flames. The poltergeist couldn't be any clearer. He wants them gone. Would you have stuck around longer? This sleepwalker has some cunning plans in mind. Published to be the Thai channel, Haunted Before Bed. The security footage captures the sleepwalker's bizarre adventures overnight, and they're scarier than you can even imagine. The sleepwalker is seen standing over his bedmate, then sitting straight up in a bed. Later, he's poised weirdly, as though he's dancing. He's seen standing over a table and gazing at it for a while on the surveillance camera in another room. Then he reaches his arm toward a water bottle on the far end of the table. This is where things get truly creepy. His arm stretches like Gumby to grab the bottle, then retracts to a normal length. Later, as he sits back in bed, an arm reaches out from under the bed. This time, it's not his Gumby arm. It's someone else's arm. A couple of guys are shown sleeping in another room around 2:40 in the morning, when suddenly, a woman's scream is heard. They both get up from bed to investigate, and, as they do, they hear a crashing sound. They open the door to find the bed empty of its two occupants, and a human-like figure crouched on the windowsill, its eyes glowing as it looks at them. The figure then jumps from the second floor. The cameraman races to the window, but only darkness reigns. What was this figure? And where did the sleepwalker and his roommate go? It's a twisted nightmare in the making. When a jinn enters the picture, the rules are usually off. Published by Hassan Barbar in June of 2021, the scary video was filmed inside what was thought to be an abandoned building. The building seems ominous by itself, but when Hassan enters the room, it becomes even more so. The jinn starts throwing objects around, and when Hassan enters, he gets pipes thrown at him. Things are being flung at all angles, so Hassan retreats into an adjacent room for safety. But the jinn won't let him hide forever. It shoves something in the empty hole where the doorknob should be and bursts the door open. Hassan returns to the eerie but calm chamber. Sure. As he continues around the building, the jinn gets more and more angry. This continues and doesn't let up for some time. He eventually decides that enough is enough and starts to go. But as he descends the stairs, it appears like he's being pulled down by an invisible force. A lot of racket is heard after that. It looks like a door was thrown down at the stairs. Was this Jin's doing? It looks like he's not playing at all. I think everyone should be staying far away from this place. This driveway ghost likes to mess around. Published by Scary and Mysterious Stuff in March of 2021, CCTV footage caught something scary and mysterious in this driveway. A rock is seen being kicked or thrown onto the driveway in the footage from something off camera. A few seconds later, a ball flies into the view from a lane adjacent to the drive. It rolls around for a moment before coming to a standstill. Then a chair scrapes forward and is leaning off the step, rolling back and forth, before being flung forward onto the drive. Sounds are heard, followed by a small footstool thrown into the view from the same storage space. A strange shadow is seen on the back wall, floating in the air. It moves into frame and hovers before retreating back again. Then, a fuller shadow figure makes its way into the picture. Instead, it appears as though a strange creature is casting a big shadow against the wall while crouching down. The floating figure appears higher up again on the wall. Were these mysterious beings causing the poltergeist activity? Would you follow a ghost into the woods? Published by the channel Ghost Hunting, this ghost hunter has found exactly what he's been looking for. The ghost hunter is driving down a road at night when he notices a white, clawed figure in the distance. As the apparition advances, it's rope floaters. The man lays on his horn and continues driving toward it. The robe figure looks like it's running, but when the ghost hunter beeps again, it stops for a moment and continues running. The man parks and gets out of his vehicle as the robe figure stops. Up close, it looks like a headless figure with broad shoulders. The mysterious white-clawed entity then runs into the woods, and the man races back to his vehicle. Was the figure a ghost? A headless horseman? Or just some strange prank in the middle of the night? The best methods by which to gauge the paranormal around us. Published by QTube in August of 2021, these guys are freaking out after seeing something sitting in a chair in their home through an app filter. They note that another chair nearby looks completely normal, but when scanning the chair next to it with the filter, it's red, hot with energy.
And this chair isn't.
Look, this one's fine, but you can go on this chair. Someone is sitting on this chair, guys.
They're sure that someone is sitting in the chair. Is technology finally allowing us to engage the invisible energies around us? Or is the filter just glitching? I think they should try using a thermal camera in this room. It might just reveal more than what we saw here. What would you do if a poltergeist became more and more aggressive? Published by D-Doc Michael in January of 2022, this scary video follows this paranormal explorer through an abandoned building. First, Michael hears some unnerving noises, like bottles rattling. He thinks it's just the wind at first, but the sounds become louder and more aggressive. This makes him run back downstairs. A window panel slides open as he explores more, and later, he hears recurrent hammering sounds in the corridor. When he goes to investigate, the banging noises get even louder and more frequent. He asks the spirit if he can enter and take a look around as he gets close to a door, but the spirits appear to respond negatively.
저 잠깐만 들어가도 될까요? 사람.
He runs off, but returns to the same door. And, as he's reaching toward the knob, he hears something inside. Finally, inside the room, there doesn't appear to be anyone around, but he hears another sound. Out in the hallway again, he reaches for a second door, and a loud noise is heard behind him. He's in a dark bathroom when chaos again breaks out behind him. Then, when he enters a bedroom, he notices the shape inside the window. Michael decides it's time to leave the place, but whatever haunts it won't let him go. Would you have stayed longer? While exploring a military bunker in Britain, these ghost hunters might have spoken to those who have died away. Published by Ghost Tech Paranormal Investigations in November of 2021, the investigation turns up frights galore. Something is watching them from behind as the pair initially tries to speak with the spirits. They then hear scraping, footsteps, and deep breathing. They hear noises behind and in front of them. While they continue to try to communicate, the cameraman notices something moving at the end of the tunnel.
I can hear tapping, scraping. What's that?
There's noise coming from down behind us. Behind me. Again, I heard noise, but this time it was from in front of me.
And upon zooming in, captures what he believes to be a figure in the doorway. Later, they've also captured a partial operation of what they think is a female phantom positioned behind a GoPro setup in another room. Did these investigators capture some true paranormal entities? Maybe the souls of the soldiers who lost their lives in this bunker never left. Warning, don't play hide and seek with the paranormal. Published by Hiab Kasamaya in December of 2021. This scary video details the haunting of a very active poltergeist. The moment one enters the abandoned building, unsettling noises may be heard. While wandering through, the loud bang begins. The room where the sounds are coming from is empty when the paranormal investigator enters. He hears a child's haunting sing-song. As he continues to explore, it continues for a while and then he stops. He tries to find its maker and pulls open a door. No one is there, and the voice seems to taunt him. He hears footsteps, and the child starts laughing at him. He enters another room, and the ceiling fan is spinning slowly. There doesn't appear to be electricity in here, and the fan is too far overhead to touch. The fan stops spinning, but when the explorer re-enters the room, he finds it spinning again. Something runs up behind him, and doors bang, but there's nothing in sight. More banging and crashing ensues, but again, nothing is found making the noise. Is there a child jinn in this place? And if so, what's its game? Published by Paranoiacs in December of 2021, the crew rapidly learns they're not alone when they get into this location in the Highlands. They enter the building and hear more and more banging noises. When the camera turns around toward the door, a pale face can be seen briefly peering around it. More banging erupts upstairs. It sounds like things are being thrown down the stairs to prevent the crew from coming up. The hammering continues as they return outside. One of the crew members started laughing hysterically at this. Then, the door burst open. Back inside, things are still being thrown around. They head back to the stairs and finally venture upstairs. Despite the poltergeist not letting up, back on the ground floor, a large iron pole is thrown, and what sounds like footsteps are heard from above them. When they make it to the top of the stairs, they probably wish they hadn't. After more torment from this poltergeist, something again peers around the corner. Is this what's causing all the mayhem? If so, the power coming from all this small figure is terrifying. If you don't want poltergeist keeping you up at night, you might want to erase the pentagram on the wall. Published by Seeker of Ghosts in December of 2021, a demon poltergeist is captured in action in the scary video. When the group enters the flat, one of the walls have been painted with a crimson pentagram, surrounded by strange symbolism. It seems like whoever was here before was welcoming demonic activity with all open arms, and the demons obliged the request. In one clip, a doll spins around on its own, sliding very quickly across the floor. Later, a string that's hanging across the room appears to be cut by something invisible. And then, the most shocking evidence. A stool flies across the room while scraping over the floor. Are the demons responding to the pentagram? What are they trying to tell these ghost hunters? I think the best decision is to get the heck out of there. What would you have done?